What is up, Walk-ins Welcome fam? You're listening to another episode of Walk-ins Welcome, where we help you triple your revenue through digital marketing services and exceptional patient experience. I'm Nick Horde, your host. Glad to be back with you. Michael Ray, also your host. What is up, my friend?
What's happening?
Oh, you know, it's Thursday. I feel a little out of sync. We typically do these on Fridays.
Yeah,
now, you're going to get it on a Wednesday either way.
Yeah, and then tomorrow we have an interview with which I don't know when this episode will air compared to that interview, but it's actually with a physical therapist
That'll be fun.
That he left big physical therapist corporate world and started his own. So we get to walk through that journey with him, because I know there are plenty of people on this podcast that either work for a clinic and will start their own but are afraid to. Maybe we will be able to encourage you.
But that is not what we're talking about.
Not today.
Today it's all social media, right?
It's so funny because Hannah helped put together this episode.
Thanks, Hannah.
It's about choosing the right social media platforms for your healthcare clinic. And what I thought was funny, we're like, I feel like we've talked about this. Then we went through all of our episodes. We've only talked about social media twice. And one of them was, is it dying? So we haven't really dived super deep into it.
I think in that episode, we argued that it's not dying, but it's shifting radically.
And I am still in agreement with that. That was 30 episodes ago, which
Right.
was, I don't know, 5-6 months ago.
That's right.
So, and I still lean into that quite a bit, where it's not like it used to be. I've heard some fascinating things from the SEO side, where AI is looking at, I don't know if you saw this or not, but AI is apparently, since it can't dissect likes on Facebook, it just assumes that bot likes could actually help you again because when AI sees it, oh, you have 10,000 likes, you must be important, and it doesn't think about it.
Okay, so what you just said in front of our entire audience is they need to go buy clicks and buy likes.
No, but maybe.
It's not a hard no.
It's not a hard no, but
it's a soft no. It's a possibly.
But as we all know, is in 3 months they'll have some release on AI that says it now can detect if that seems bogus like sort of thing. So this is the game that we play, where we're playing in like 10 other people's backyards, and we're trying to figure out which one's not going to kick us out first. And that's how we deal with things. But today we're talking about the backyards of social media platforms.
You know what's funny is in this layout she's got Twitter, and that's not even a thing anymore.
X.
It's called X or something now. So here's the deal. I think that the number one way to approach the episode, already going to get off track from what Hannah put down here, but
sorry, Hannah.
It's just to identify, like, why do you think you need social media?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. What's the
I
point?
want you to, I'm going to count to
to
5 in my head and just be quiet. 5 seconds. Ready? Okay. All right. That was not quite 5 seconds. That's how awkward dead air is. But anyway, the reason I say that is, like, really want you can't turn the crickets off.
There he goes. Let's go.
Why do you think that you need social media? Michael, do you have an answer to that?
Because I have to.
Because I have to is the number one answer that we get.
Everybody
from
else
any
is doing
urgent
it.
care, any patient care space. They're like, well, we have to. Well, to your credit, you kind of do. All right. So I want to explain it from this way. Back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, all the way up to like early 90s, to be a relevant business, Michael, you had to have a physical brick and mortar.
And Yellow Pages.
And Yellow Pages, but specifically a physical brick and mortar to legitimize your business. Like, you weren't a business if you didn't have an office to go to.
You needed that open sign.
Well, what happened is there was a shift from that era into the 90s, going into the 2000s and even into the mid 2000s, where to be a legitimate business, you didn't have to have just a brick and mortar. You had to have a brick and mortar and a website. Oh, what is this thing in 97? Right, where now we have to have this website too to be legitimate. Like, what would happen is, if you were looking for a business, you would immediately go say, well, do they have a website?
Yeah. Or you see that really, really long HTTP ://www. whatever, blah, 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 / whatever.
Right.
And that was like a big, I remember seeing that length of URLs on billboards for a minute, and just took up the whole entire bottom of the billboard, because everybody thought that's the way it had to go.
Right.
But it is one of those things, like, it's safe to say. So, websites have been around since 97, right? 95, 97.
And you still have to have one.
And, like, at the end of the day, our entire world operates off of that, where if I can't find you on your website, then I struggle as a consumer. Like, I have a harder time trusting you, right? And then keep going on your.
Well, that takes us to the next shift.
Yeah.
Now the brick and mortar, not for patient care companies, just to be clear about this, I'm just talking in general. We're setting the table for social media. Now it's fallen away where like the HVAC companies and all of this, they don't have to have a physical brick and mortar.
Most of them don't.
Most of them don't. But now this is going to be, forgive me if this is irrelevant to you, but it'll make sense. Just think about your area. So for here, there's an area called Bessemer. And all of the HVAC companies have their locations at Bessemer, or at least they did until like the past 5 years. Like all of them were there. Why? You had to have a physical business, and Bessemer had the cheapest business rates.
Cheapest rent, biggest spaces, so you can store all your stuff.
Exactly. So every HVAC company was there. Well, now they're all moving to wherever is most convenient for them because the physical brick and mortar no longer matters. Now what matters is, do you have a website, and can I find you on social media?
Right.
Can I find you on social media? I don't need the brick and mortar. It's gone. You have a digital brick and mortar now. That's your website. But social media provides something that no other platform does. It's called social proof. Are you real?
Yep.
Do people care about you? And do you have reviews?
And are you open?
Yeah. I mean, but you find that really on Google, right?
Yeah.
But if you as an urgent care, as a patient care clinic, if the last post that you made on any one of your social media accounts is 2 years ago, nobody thinks you're actually in business anymore.
Right. And you know, here's the thing. Does that apply to everyone? No. There are plenty of consumers out there that are all about giving you a phone call, and they're going to call you. They're not going to look at social media, but they're in the minority, right? So like I'm 35 and I am trained. Like if I have to engage with a new company to come do something or whatever, go to a doctor's office or whatnot, I'm going to dig. And I have to say this, I cannot stand it when you have the urgent care, primary cares that are part of hospitals, and you try to find them on the hospital website, and you're just like, I don't know where I am right now.
I'm not going to mention who it is because we love them as a client, but we have this one client that's part of this bigger company, and they do massages and stuff like that. And when you go to their website, like we had to create this whole other thing to do advertising for them because it was built into a hotel.
Yeah.
And it was weird.
Yeah.
You could never find the name of the company anywhere on the internet because it was all wrapped into this hotel that they were out of.
Right.
So,
anyway. And that's what we're getting at is, you know, here we are, we're digital people. We live on the internet. Like we have 20 tabs open on Chrome every day doing stuff. And if we're struggling to figure out what's going on with you, like when somebody reaches out to us, they want to book a time with us or whatever, what do? We go to their website. We look at their email address and see what their website is. Then we go check out their social. Like we assess them in like 5 minutes. We know exactly what's going on, and we bring the questions up to them in the meeting. And in the typical, like we haven't posted them on social media or your website looks a lot. Yeah, we're just busy. Haven't gotten to it. I'm like, well, you could be more busy. Yeah. If you fix some of these things,
and that's okay. We ain't mad at you.
No, it's just reality. I mean, we all it's like the cobbler doesn't have good shoes or whatnot. Like it's the same thing going on.
So there's multiple reasons to have social media. One of is the social proof. The other one is your messaging and your branding and making sure that you're putting content out there on a consistent basis to tell your followers and your fans like what's going on in your world. They want to know or they wouldn't be following you in the first place. Right? So that brings us to the next segment of this is like, okay, what are the goals that you're trying to accomplish with your social media so that you can pick the correct platforms? Because let me tell you, man, I don't want to manage 7 platforms.
No.
I don't want to.
Or respond.
I won't.
Yeah, respond, comment, did that post actually happen? Deal with somebody, did a direct message to you. There's layers to it, right?
Yeah. So Nick the Marketer and Patient Care Marketing Pros is a business-to-business company. We exist to sell digital marketing services to patient care clinics. All right. That's what we do. I'm saying that because if you were to go look at our social media, you'll find there's a lot of professional content that we put out through my LinkedIn profiles. Right. Very professional. It's not your rinse and repeat. But then you go over to our TikTok page and it is a party looking for a place to happen. We have fun over there.
Yeah, the Nick the Marketer TikTok page is a hoot.
It is fun.
It
should be.
And we sit there and just poke fun at things and just have fun. The Patient Care Marketing Pros TikTok, which I encourage you guys to go check out. It's a combination. We have a little bit of fun, but we also do like 30-second snippets of like, this is good information you should have.
Absolutely.
So
we're serving our audience through those platforms.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's our goal, right? We're going to serve first. If we get a client off of it, great. But ultimately, like we're putting ourselves out there and giving away our information. Because at the end of the day, just like anybody else, we know certain things that the vast majority doesn't know. Same
Right.
with a doctor's office. You guys know things about just about anything related to the healthcare that as a common like patient would not know. And it's okay to explain some of it. You know, you got
right.
your limitations, but ultimately, like, it's okay to say, hey, by the way, this is the thing, you should go check out this. Did you know, like a lot of did you know situations would come up.
Well, I'll tell you some practical applications. I'm going to stick with urgent cares because anybody who listens to this podcast knows that that's the vast majority of the people that we're able to help are urgent cares. We love them. That being said, the kind of information that you can put out on your social medias, I'm going to talk specifically Facebook at the moment. Okay. So, you know, we were with one of our urgent care partners, I don't know, a week ago, something like that. And they were talking about how school's back in and STDs are up.
And that wasn't just one urgent care client. There were a couple. We have one urgent care that they are within a mile from a very popular university.
That's right.
And they see 70 patients a day, and 90% are STD.
I've
related.
never walked out of a clinic more in my life wanting to take a shower.
Yeah, it was
Like,
funny because like
Can I get an injection or a boost or something while I'm here?
But the best part was like the way we asked because we were visiting an urgent care.
Everybody's hands come off the
Well,
things.
and we were just like, but it was so funny because their response, like, it was like the most flat response from all of them at that location. Like STDs.
STDs.
We're like,
That's
what?
what we do.
Oh yeah. She said, when school starts back, that's all we see. I'm like, that's sad, but okay.
Yeah, but with that being said, that's specific to that urgent care. To which, with schools coming back, hey, a great post on that is no judgment here. Are you concerned about an STD? We want to make sure that you're taken care of and that it's private and that it's discreet and you have the information that you're looking for and a plan of action. That's a great social media post on Facebook for something that's relevant to that clinic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Or even if you had like, we have special after hours for STD, like it could be all sorts of fun stuff.
You know what's funny that you say that? There is a place that only takes blood works for AIDS patients. Okay. Right next to one of our clients here locally, Way to Wellness. And
Oh, yeah.
like it's an unmarked opening. You don't know. It's like, if you know, you know. You've seen that
If you know,
hashtag
you know.
or whatever.
If you
Like,
know,
if you
you
know,
know.
you know, right? And I only know it because I was going to go down there and she goes, that ain't the place you need to go. I was like, okay, all right, whatever. But all right. So we're also hearing about an uptick in COVID.
Yes, COVID is back. We don't know to what level,
Right.
But all of our urgent care clients, they've all said, yeah, we're
Seen
seeing
an uptick.
We're seeing like 3 to 5 patients a day that are COVID related. You got some flu mixed in there, but it's came back quickly. Like
Right.
it wasn't like, oh, there's a couple. It was like, oh, there they are. But
What a great social media post though for you to attack something that you're seeing. You're not calling out any specific person.
Nope.
You don't want to violate HIPAA. No. Hey, Bobby Sue over there came into the clinic. They've got COVID. If
Bobby's
you talk
got-
to Bobby Sue, you need to come in here and get don't
if
do
you heard
that.
Bobby coughing, come to us.
Yeah, do not do that. Okay. But the point I'm trying to make is, hey, we love y'all. We're serving y'all, and we've seen an uptick in COVID. We want to protect those who we're responsible for, who are under our care. Come in, get a test if you even feel sick a little bit. These are the kind of ways that you can use social media that isn't so, look at this 5-star review that we got. Or,
Well, yeah.
you know what I
Or
mean?
even like saying, here's the current symptoms of COVID right now. If you're experiencing any of this, you should come to our clinic and get tested.
That's
Same day result, and that's the encouragement of let's get you taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
And so because it's always, and that's the thing too, when we went and visited some urgent cares, they were talking about how they're, every patient that comes in generally don't feel good.
Right.
And taking them through that, a positive experience and making them feel good at the end of it. But yeah, I mean, just letting social media being relevant and then being honest and transparent, don't try to be like very top, we're just an urgent care. We don't care what you're doing. This is what we're talking about. Try to be more authentic at the end of the day.
So let's talk strategy a little bit. All right. There's some platforms here that we need to go through. You have Facebook, Instagram, X, Twitter.
Yep.
Okay. You have LinkedIn and then TikTok. And there's Snapchat. Y'all, I'm just going to be in full disclosure. I know nothing about Snapchat, so I'm not even going to talk about that.
And I just,
If you know, great, chime in.
I don't know enough to make a comment, but at the end of the day, we know, honestly, TikTok is the better version of Snapchat, in my opinion.
It is, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But what I really want to do is just kind of talk about the differences in the platforms and then pull some strategy. So we know that Facebook is for you to build your community. It's still the biggest platform. social media platform in the world still.
And arguably, we don't do this too much for our clients, but I've seen urgent cares in particular start up Facebook groups, and I've seen it's weird. Facebook groups kind of comes and goes. Like we have a Facebook group for patient care marketing pros, Walk-ins Welcome area. Like, please come join that. But at the end of the day, I've seen like tons of engagement on Facebook groups, and then I see it just kind of fall off to the side. But this is the thing: if you're part of some groups, your feed is very prioritized to those groups.
That's right.
I will see a group post way before a friend's post or a business page. I never see business page posts.
Well, I mean,
often.
I don't either. Shout out to my coach, Josh Nelson at Seven Figure Agency. He's got the most engaged group.
Oh, it's amazing.
Not page, group of anything I've ever been a part of. I'm talking like multiple posts a day, multiple engagements. That thing's worth it. That alone is worth it.
I mean, in our world, it's for digital agencies. And like, if we have a question, like, hey guys, are y'all experiencing this? Within 5 minutes,
right.
Boom, 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 boom. And then we have an answer. Like it's,
right.
Except for me. Every time I ask a question, they're like, crickets. Like, it's my question.
You need to add a photo of your dog in there. And then, all right, but that's Facebook. Facebook is for you to build your community. Instagram to me is a very vanity type platform. Mm-hmm. And I see a lot of pictures of like people's food. I see a lot of pictures of selfies. I see a lot of vacation pictures and stuff like that. Okay. I'm about to say there's nothing wrong with that. What I'm trying to tell you is, like, if you know that about the platform, then that's the kind of content you want to put on your platform. Like, go around and take selfies with your office staff. Right? Yeah. Do some, what is it called, a boomerang, where you high five somebody and it just goes back and forth.
Well,
I know that's out of style.
You're dating yourself now.
All I'm talking about is like whatever the relevant hashtags and all that stuff are for Instagram. That's going to be a very vanity type platform.
Now, I've already forgotten. I bet a millions of people already have too. What's the platform that Instagram spun off?
You're talking about?
I've forgotten.
Vine?
No. The one that just came out like a month ago. And all the Instagram followers hopped on, or accounts got migrated over. I've already forgotten.
I don't even know.
That's bad. I used it once. I was like, this is kind of dumb, and I moved on.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It'll come back to me in a second.
Well, nonetheless, while you're looking at that, Instagram is a vanity platform. All right, going from there to Twitter, or X as it is now, or at least this week. So that platform is an opinion-based platform. That is a great platform for an engaged doctor or an engaged practice manager. This isn't something that you just want to just post anything on. This is something that if you want it to be successful, you're going to want to engage with people's comment, put commentary out there. You pulled up, I just saw a CNN thing post up. But if you see CNN post something that's relevant to your urgent care and you have an opinion about it, that's where you want to retweet it, re-exit, what's it called now? Retweet it. Have commentary on that from your opinion and how it wraps back to your urgent care. What is it called?
Threads. I've already forgotten about Threads. And so I did a quick, I think everybody else has, because these are the best headlines ever. This is true social media at its finest. So when I did a quick search, new Instagram platform, it said Threads, and they were all July 5th news posts. I was like, okay, nothing else. Then I typed in just Threads. And now I'm getting posts from like a day or two ago, and they're all like 80% of users have dropped off. Like, nobody's engaging with it right now.
Threads, that was the thing that was supposed to replace Twitter, right?
Yes, it was a Twitter it was designed to replace Twitter with Instagram.
I remember what you're talking about now. Yeah, I just never got on it.
I got on it because that was the reason why it hit 100 million users.
I like the logo.
It's cool. The reason why it hit 100 million users in like a week is because it literally alerted Instagram users, hey, we have a new platform, go here. And it logged in through Instagram.
But nobody's doing anything on it.
But they all hopped on, and now they've all hopped off.
That's the definitive, like, nobody needs another platform.
Right, and then and a lot of people say, we don't need a new Twitter.
That's it. Like, and I feel the same way. Like, if it already exists, like, and you're not doing something different. Anyway, so back to where we were on Twitter, for Threads, whatever you want to call it. That's your opinion. Like, have an opinion, have a good opinion, engage with other people's opinion, add your expertise to it. That's the whole foundation of Twitter. Do not get on Twitter if you don't intend to use it. There's no point.
Yeah, all I use my Twitter account for is to send a post to our meteorologist here in Birmingham.
James Spann.
And he reposts it almost religiously, which I appreciate.
That's because he understands his market.
There you go. Well, and where we are, we'll lose this in January because of our new office. But where we are locally, we can see the entire downtown Birmingham. It's perfect for storm photos.
That's how you need a hashtag Patient care marketing pros, and you're next. Anyway, all right. So there's that. Let's go to LinkedIn. I think this is a phenomenal tool for patient care clinics.
Actually, yeah. Especially recruiting.
That's exactly where I'm going with it. It is a professional network where people who are looking for jobs or putting themselves out there, or becoming more professional or whatever. That is a platform where you can really expose your company and the benefits of working at your company and the perks of working at your company and all the blessings of doing business and being a team member or an employee of your clinic. I would put that out there. I would be looking for people in my office who love working at my office. Hey, can I do a quick video? Just tell me what it is that you like doing here and post that video on LinkedIn. That's the kind of content that I would look for on LinkedIn. It's professional. It's business related. It's about recruiting.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, from the sense of we know even today, the job market is very difficult. It's very, very difficult to keep people. People are looking for that extra dollar sometimes. And then you guys say, well, I have a better work environment. Will prove it to me, And so LinkedIn, and we noticed too, we've done our own internal recruiting on LinkedIn, and it has benefited us multiple times.
It's been successful.
Yeah, it really has. And when we talk to urgent cares, first problem is we need volume. Second problem is we need staff to control the volume. And LinkedIn is a great place for that at the end of the day. And you have to make sure you look good on there. I will say, I don't think you need constant posting on there, but I do think it needs to be very curated, very nicely done a post where,
right.
And it's a true like thought leader position almost. I see a lot of thought leader posts out there that I get a lot of engagement. I see a lot of
wannabe thought leader, bros.
I do see those too.
I've seen a few of those people that I know that I'm like, oh, come on, man, really?
Yeah, now I will say, like, one of my favorite local thought leaders is the guy that owns all the telephone companies, that keeps buying telephone companies.
I hadn't seen that. Unless you're talking about Ryan Reynolds.
No,
With Mint Mobile.
the Will Slappy guy, the Slappy Communications, like he's buying a new company every other week.
I don't know him well, but I haven't heard anything bad about him. He sounds like he's a good dude.
But when I see his posts, it's like inspiring to a certain degree, right. And it's also like he tries to be humble about it, but I don't know. It's just
that's called a humble brag.
Yeah, a little bit. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure I don't see fun posts on LinkedIn.
Right.
I just don't.
Well, let me just go ahead and talk about why nobody goes to LinkedIn, or they trying to avoid it. Me being one of those people, and you as a practice owner or manager or whatever question. Hey,
Nick, quick question.
Stop it. It's just like,
hey, Nick. Hey, we're in the same industry. You have a fantastic profile. Come on, check me out.
What is the best one I got? Hey, I see you're on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn too. We should connect. And I'm like, you're an idiot. Like, who says that?
Yeah, and that
is the worst.
And I probably get those multiple times a day.
Yeah,
majority of people on here probably get multiple times a day. And this is what we know too from our own internal attempts at connecting with people over a couple of years. No one checks their LinkedIn but once a week, if that.
It's pretty normal.
They are not a daily checker.
And I've got my notifications turned off. I had somebody today actually that kind of made me laugh. They're like, "Hey, have you found any work for my daughter yet?" And I'm like, "I don't."
What?
Well, she does the same thing that you do. She owns a marketing company. Well, if I find work, I'm going to just do the work.
Do the work.
It's just the way it goes. It's fascinating. Anyway, I don't mean to go on a tangent other than along with LinkedIn comes a ridiculous, insane, obnoxious amount of spam. And there's no way to get around it other than have Hannah come do your post for you. That's what I do. I just don't even go anywhere near it.
That's a real thing.
All right, moving on to the fastest growing platform in history.
That still has active users, Threads.
Correct. Oh, I guess, did Threads beat that?
Threads beat that.
Oh, well, never mind.
But they kind of cheated.
That doesn't count. They were an existing platform that just rolled out another product. I'm talking about from scratch it took 2 years to get to 1 billion users on TikTok.
Yeah.
2 years. That's crazy.
And the platform's not slowing down. I think it's fascinating.
I like it. I like it better. I'm more engaged on TikTok than I am any other platform.
Yeah, I learn more on TikTok. I'm more entertained on TikTok, and the algorithm knows exactly what I like. It tries to attempt to give me something new. I'm like, right. I don't really care.
I'm just going to tell you now, looking behind the scene, I can't seem to find any evidence that China's pulling any strings back there. And I'm back in their platform all the time. I'm not saying it's not happening. And I understand why, because it's a China-owned platform that the government would want to pull their devices off of that. I get that. But I'm just telling y'all, I don't see any kind of weirdness going on in the background other than people are making a ridiculous amount of money to put on a bathing suit and dance on TikTok. And I don't mean to sound crass, but that's how it's.
No, my favorite TikToker is the guy that runs up to the car and says, "What do you do for a living?"
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Daniel Mack, and it's so simple. And then the other TikToker I like, he's actually works for a Nissan dealership, and he always says, "I have a new car that came in." But his phrase is they upgraded to a new Nissan. That's his phrase. Even if it's like a brand new Toyota Tundra,
right.
They upgraded to a brand new Nissan. And there, all the comments like, "There's no such thing as upgrades to Nissans." And
that's funny. He's getting engagement. Who cares?
But he's getting millions of likes.
That's all you need. I will say this about TikTok. We came across Urgent Care. I want to say it was either at the beginning of this week or into last week. And they were using a branding agency, not us.
Yeah, that was
and
good.
I got to give props to that agency. I wish I knew their name. I would even give them a shout out on air. I just don't have it in front of me. But my goodness, they had their TikTok channel on point with relevant information going out. It was a mixture of entertainment, educating, and executing. And that is my baby formula.
They
right
were
there.
good.
I love it. So I wish I could point you in the right direction to show you what that looks like. Maybe I can find it and I'll drop it in the show notes. But there is a place on TikTok for patient care clinics. There's a place on there for you.
Yep.
It's all, yes, I get it. You're scared of video. I get it. Get over it. Get on TikTok. It's where the people are. It's where they are.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, just they're doom scrolling on Facebook.
Doom scroll.
Right? I don't even know if they're on Instagram anymore, but let me tell you what, it is the most engaged platform right now is TikTok. People are spending time watching all of the videos.
Which I think I flew into my mind. TikTok used to have that interruption video that says, "Hey, you should take a break." They don't do that anymore. They don't do it anymore. You remember
They got rid of that. They did add some parental controls that I'm happy about. So I will say that.
And now you can shop through TikTok, which is brand new.
Yeah, TikTok shopping it is up there with Google shopping platform.
I mean, and that's what
It's
Facebook
good.
was trying to pull off, and they never could.
Facebook's a hot mess. If y'all ever get on the back end of Facebook, it looks different. Every time I get back into the Business Manager, I have very little hope for its future. Everybody's doing it better. They just have the biggest audience. And it's like McDonald's. It's not the best hamburger. They just have the biggest audience.
Not the best service, not the best hamburger. Really not best of anything, but
maybe the fries.
But they were kind of first, right?
Yeah.
Like,
they invented the model. It is what it is. And so they automatically have the biggest platform.
Yep.
All right. So listen, we've kind of laid it out there on the platforms, the way to engage the different platforms. The last thing that I want to bring to the table, Michael, is just to say, pick one, start there. There's this acronym that I heard from John Lee Dumas, who owns Podcasters Paradise. And,
Podcasters Paradise.
Yep, and he does a podcast called Entrepreneurs on Fire. Anyway, I like him.
Oh, that guy.
I like his podcast.
Yeah.
But he says this acronym called FOCUS, which stands for Follow One Course Until Successful. And I love it. Follow one course until successful. And the reason I bring that up is, especially since we're running out of time, is you got these handful of platforms. I would say first, pick the platform that you're most comfortable with and get really good at that one before you start adding 15 other ones.
Right.
That would be my recommendation.
And then the other side is have strategy behind it. Like, don't just blanket do it. And here's the thing. Send us an email. We'll give you a content calendar to start with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Free of charge. We have this thing built out. We love to give it to or really any of our clients. And it fills the gaps because there are always gaps in your content. And we help fill them with this free content calendar. Send us an email, hello@patientcaremarketingpros.com. Happy to send it to you. No strings attached. Just here, take it. Just remember us next time when you're frustrated with a platform.
That's good, though. Thank you for putting that out there. We absolutely want to give that resource that Hannah created. We'll give that away for free, for sure. Just send us an email.
Just send us an email.
All right, last thing, and then we'll walk, man. If you like the content on this channel and you appreciate what we're trying to accomplish by serving you and giving you the content and doing this research and bringing our practical application from the different clinics that we've been able to serve in our business, a 5-star review would go a long way. That would mean the world to us.
Especially on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, Apple Podcasts would be great. We really appreciate that. That's the best thank you can give us is to give a 5-star review and maybe share it on your social media.
We just had some really cool feedback too on a recent interview, and it's done so well that we're actually having conversations with other urgent cares around it. So Yeah, give us also if there's something we haven't touched at all on a topic, send it our way. Like we love interviews. They definitely fill the gaps for sure. But when we don't have interviews, we have content and topics we have to come up with. And if there's something on the horizon that we haven't touched on, you want to know more about, we'll deep dive into it and we'll have an episode all for it.
Love it, man. Awesome. Y'all go out and crush it. What you do matters. Make an impact on your community, and we will see you next Wednesday.
See ya.